Hi, I'm just doing a quick update and just sharing some of the stories that happened to me. So this isn't really like structured or anything. But this morning, in the last few days, I mean, if you watched some of my other videos, I've had like some anxiety, like just some anxiety, and I've been trying to do good and not try to think about like all the problems I have because I really believe when you focus on those problems, you create more of them. And sometimes it's hard, especially when it comes to money issues for me. So I woke up this morning and I just was like, I don't know what happened, but I woke up and I was just thinking about all these things that were anxious for me. And yesterday, I was listening to a video from Leonore Alexander, and she was talking about like connecting with her spirit guides and telling some stories. And she was saying you could ask for help from your spirit guides, and they will give it to you. They won't do the work for you, but they will send you help. And she was just telling this story. And so I'm in the car and I'm like, dude, I need y'all's help. Like I need whatever you can do, please help me because I cannot control this right now. Like this anxiety keeps leaving and coming and leaving and coming. I'm trying to be positive, blah blah blah. So I woke up this morning. I was just not. I was thinking about everything possibly in my life that could go wrong. And I'm sitting there and I'm trying to force myself to be grateful. Like, look at what I have. Like, I have all these things. I have my kids. And then at the same time, I'm going, I could lose it all. So it's just back and forth shit, you know? And so I went and took a shower. I don't know what it is, but since I was younger, every time I take a shower, it just helps relax me. And I took a shower, and I talk in other videos about setting intentions. And so I was in the shower and I was trying to relax, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go back to bed because I woke up at like 6 o'clock this morning because I'm still on this school schedule. And I'm like, I'm going to go back to bed. And I set the intentions that I will somehow learn some lessons in my dreams. Please give me any signs in my dreams. Help me with something, help me. And I believe in what I have researched is, or what I've found out is when you go to bed and you dream, you're not just dreaming. It's not just crazy stuff. That your body goes to sleep because our bodies have to sleep, but your consciousness goes to different realms. I know it sounds crazy, but it goes to different realms and it learns lessons. And you take these things back to you. And that's why it seems like it's so crazy in these dreams that you're doing all this crazy stuff because you couldn't do it here. But supposedly in different realms and different whatever it is, you can do these things. So I'm starting to fall asleep. There was something that I saw that I still can't remember, but because I was like, okay, remember that. You're going to look that up. Because yesterday I had dreams about bees, and they were flying out of almost like a swampy area, like with long grass, and I looked that up, and that was good. And I always look up what these dreams mean. And so when I was falling asleep, and remember, your brain goes into a theta state, so it's more of a relaxed state, so you can get messages. At least I do. I feel like I get messages when I'm in meditation and when I'm starting to fall asleep or when I'm in dreams. I really believe this. I wholeheartedly believe it. You can think I'm crazy, but whatever. And I started to get a dream of a kid in an inner tube. And it was almost like we were at Slitterbahn. I live next to New Braunfels, and they were in like a pool, right? Sorry, my dog wants to just come up and be annoying. But I love her. But so I saw like an overhead shot, and it was a kid in an inner tube, and it was just kind of around, and there was a lot of people kind of in a wave pool. And I thought, okay, I'm going to look up inner tube because that's what's sticking out to me. Please go lay down. Please go lay down. Thank you. Um, so I had a dream that I have never, ever had before. Okay? This is crazy. In my dream, and it did not feel like a fucking dream. Like I've never had that where it's felt so, I felt it. Like it felt so real. It was so weird. So I was in a dream and I was walking into this area that had a pool. It had a rectangular pool. And it was indoors. And it was like really nice rectangular pool. But anyways, I was saying out loud, so when I die, I know that my body dies, basically. I know that my body dies and my consciousness goes to something else. But will my consciousness know this? Like, will I know that I'm going to a different realm or a different whatever dimension, and that I will be conscious in that, because this is so real. When you start really looking into like the science behind it and how it's just energy and atoms all together, and how this reality seems real because we're in these bodies and we have our five senses, like it's all crazy because it's real, but it's, from what I understand, it's kind of like a dream. So in this dream, I felt like it was like for real. And I was like, well, I know that. And I get to the edge of the pool and I do this yoga move, which I don't know how to do, but it's like where you put all your body weight on your hands and your legs are going out straight. So you would be like this at the end of the pool, like your hands would be here and your body would be here. And I literally, my body floated up, and it was completely like, it wasn't like I was doing a yoga move and I was trying it was like I literally just flew, and I could feel it in my body. I could feel, and I was like, oh my God, this shit is so crazy. And then I jumped into the pool and I was swimming around, and I didn't feel like I was swimming in a pool. I felt like I was floating underneath the water. And I was just like in this dream going, oh my God, I can feel this. This is crazy that I can do this. And in the dream, I could see myself kind of looking up in the sky, and I could see a black and white outline. And it was kind of like fuzzy, broken lines, like somebody was drawing it, but it was me sleeping in my bed in the same position that I was in. And I was like, oh, that's me sleeping. I'm sleeping. And then all of a sudden, I heard the song, Everything's Gonna Be All Right, from the Three Little Birds. And if you have been following me, that song is huge for me. And I even have a video on here, you can go back, of my son when he was 3, and he's singing that song. And that song has always brought me security. And I've said that like my best friend was getting this settlement, and he was listening to this rap station, and all of a sudden it cuts off in the middle of a song, and Three Little Birds came on. And so this song gives me a sense of security, and I heard that everything's gonna be all right, and it was that song, and I woke up, and that feeling and that anxiety in my chest was gone. It was just like, I just knew everything's gonna be all right. Like, quit worrying, you're gonna be all right, everything's gonna be all right. Everything works out, best case scenario. And it just like, it was crazy to me. And I'm being straight up real. Like, it wasn't a dream. It was something I had never experienced before in my life. And it gave me messages. And I looked up the inner tube and the swimming, and they were both positive things for dreams. It was inner tube. It was like the it represents a wheel, and how I think the wheel is turning in your favor. And the swimming, if you were enjoying the swimming, means life is going to be all right. It was all the messages, everything's going to be all right. And it was just like, it's all I needed. I mean, I hope that's all I needed. I take it second by second, day by day, but I really like know that the divine or angels or whatever are communicating with me and helping me. Because at this point, like, whatever I'm doing is just worrying. I'm going to my therapist today, and I think that was part of it, because I start to go over in my head what I'm going to talk to her about, because it's usually stuff that I'm worried about. And then I started to go into a spiral. And I am going to my therapist, and I'm going to talk a little bit about my money problems, and then I'm going to shut that down, because I don't want to think about it, and I don't want to dwell on it, because I don't want to create more of it. I want to learn my lesson here, and I know that the universe or divine is going to provide for me, and it's going to work itself out. I don't understand how it's going to work itself out. I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I just have to have faith. And I keep saying that I have to have faith. Like, I think of my best friend Jeremy that I told you that like has over 1 million, or is worth over 1 million or whatever. And I think about his wife, and like, she's had 2 credit card bills paid off by family members twice. She's had 2 homes bought from her, and they got all this money. Like, things just happen to people. And I just think about my mom and how she, had that insurance kick in the day of her accident, and she ended up being with a boyfriend for many years that had money, and she was able to travel the world. My little brother was able to travel with her, and she lives with my my aunt now. And, it's not that she hadn't had struggles, but everything's always worked out. We've never really gone without. And I have to just keep having faith and remind myself these stories of you just don't know what's going to happen. You just don't know. And you have to stop creating these things in your mind that, everything's going to fall apart. It's a challenge for me for sure. But I don't know what's going to happen. I didn't know that I'd be sitting here today speaking about this shit. Did not think that 6 months ago. Never would have guessed. Ever, ever, ever. Would have been on YouTube and would have been on Instagram and I'd be sharing my life. So I would have never guessed. A year ago from today, I was on a weight loss journey. I would have never thought I would have been 70 pounds. I mean, I wished, but none of this I thought a year ago would I be here. My life would be this. So I have to let go of trying to have control and I have to have faith and I just have to do the best I can. You know, I yesterday messaged one of my clients where when I come back in the next day that I come back in town, I'm going to her house and I was just like, hey, I'm going to your house. You're my only client. Do you think your daughters need anything? And she's, messaged me back and was like, oh yeah, I might need, my daughters might need this and that. So it might be, extra money that, because I only do little side stuff here and there so I can earn money because, I'm a stay at home mom and it's kind of hard for me to find a full time job because of my son. So trying to do everything I can here. But that dream was amazing. Like, it was amazing that I woke up and that feeling was gone. And it was amazing. I just started to cry. I was like, I'm so grateful. Anything I can get, any messages I can get, anything to relieve me of this pain, I'm so grateful for. But I thought I should share the story. And this weekend, I think I will do a video on being empathic. I think if you're on this channel, you are empathic. I definitely think that's the case. And some of the techniques that I've used to not take on other people's energy and not let their energy affect your life. Because if you don't know how to do this, it can be very detrimental that you take on other people's energy and feelings and problems. So I think I'll be doing that this weekend and I will post it probably on Sunday. And I probably won't be back on until, a few days because I'm sure this whole vacation I'll have lots of stories and lots of things that I can share with other people that will, I can teach y'all. Hopefully. I always experience miracles, so who knows, a miracle could happen, but holler for a dollar.